I'm going to answer the question on the next video about the forward fold. I first want to talk about the hip flexor because it's exciting stuff. I have a student who was arching a little bit in their headstand, and I wanted to correct exactly that, correct the shoulder, the ribs, the shoulder blades coming down. And then what happened is, actually, I'll put the photos on and you can see. Then I realized when we got this, if we got tight hip flexors, we compensate with it by releasing the upper chest. So then the hip flexor kind of has more rein if I don't, because there I have to have an open hip flexor to open it. If I do that, kind of don't have to have the open hip flexor. My body is such a sneaky thing, because the buyer then tested, they look at my body and go, never would you have a closed hip flexor. I'm doing back bends. And she tested me with her method and she went, oh, got a positive, hip flexor is tight. And since then it's been amazing to just focus on opening just right there and opening it more with this engagement in the top part. She gave me an exercise which I'm going to show you now, and it made such a difference for my hip flexor. Okay, so let's take you into that. You need just a space. It's nice to hold onto something. So I'm just going to hold onto the windowsill, like that. Okay, you hold onto the windowsill and relax. Take one leg. Oh, I love this. I love watching my thigh actually engage and doing the inner and outer rotation and checking that my hip's working nicely. Take the one leg up. I say think of your toe being a key, and you put it in a keyhole and you keep it in the keyhole. So I'm relaxing my chest and then turn it open, 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 open. Feel the engagement also in the bottom leg. You can even feel the stretch on your side arm and this on the lat, and then turn it in, all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way. And then do 5 of those on each side. And turn it all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way in. Okay, I'm going to move it so you can see my toe as well. Okay, so stretch it out. And first we open, 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 open as much as you can. It's like Ardha Chandrasana, your half moon pose. And then lift and turn, 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 all the way in. Strong bottom leg. 5 on this side. Open, 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 open. And turn it in. Oh. Then what I realized we want to get a straight line in the headstand, so we compensate. We wiggle or zigzag the body up. So get a nice strong chest and then lift. But then it gets to this point where you have to make a decision. So, okay, I'm just going to let that go so that it looks like my hip flexor is open. And so then when I corrected his chest, his legs had to be there for a bit. And I had that a lot in my handstands. I tried to get stronger and stronger in my chest. The more I got stronger, the more I got tight in my tummy. And it looked like I was tight in my tummy and my legs weren't opening. I found the solution and what was going on. If the hip flexor is tight, then the glutes are not going to be working because they're kind of sitting in that position. The glutes are kind of in an open position, not in a nice squeeze position. Come lie down like so and lift the hip bones right up and ribs down. Shoulder blades can still be on the back. Okay. Now slide the leg down, watching it. Try and try not to do that. Keep the hips there. So start squeezing my bum upwards and push the thigh down. And I'm really trying to push this open, And other side, I keep the hips there. Relax ribs, relax sternum. Press down to push the hip up. Okay. So that's the kind of feeling you're going to have when you're in your headstand or handstand as well. So let's take it now to lying down, because that's where your position is. To get that, I want hip bones up, tummy down, bum a little bit active, shoulder, so there you do the serratus coming down, and the the lower trap pulling down, and then everything's down. That's also where you can do your spear. This is quite amazing, because lots of people struggle with leg raises, and they struggle because the back is leaving the floor. But if you engage all that and you spear yourself with your serratus and your lower traps, the legs are much more secure in the leg raise. The neck also won't engage. Okay, so we do that going into, oh yes, we're doing handstand. Shoulder blades on your back, stretch your arms. Now, keep your back as much as you can on the floor. Oh, that's falling, so that's what it looks like. Okay, everything tries to stay down on the floor, and then slide, opening your hip flexor. So you're pushing down, and you can try the leg, push down, and push both down. So your thighs are pressing down and your hips are pressing up. Now if you go, am I adding it in this one? Yes. So now if we go to Navasana, you lift the hip bones, you can look at your toes. So I'm engaging still, shoulder blades on my back, and go to half Navasana. Then you'll feel the length in the spine, and you go to the full Navasana, and you'll notice my hip flexor is still open. I didn't tighten it, and I didn't need to arch. Yes, the yogis say we must be on the sit bones, but we can do that in time as we get stronger in the core, we're more relaxed, lifting up without tensing, moving it up. Okay, there's my serratus working much better. Okay, so get that and lower down. Watch your pelvis have controls to go down. Can play that one again. My students love me. I apparently killed them on that one. Okay, but try that, pushing down to come up. So that when you're pushing down and open, it's open before you close it. And then that will come into Navasana, where the hip flexors don't bundle and crunch, but you activate it through the core and lengthened. There I definitely use my serratus and lower traps. Okay, so that will then take you into your headstand and handstands more correctly with the openness. So I was thinking to myself, you know, when you're practicing against the wall, your handstands, it's so often you get the wall, you pull your feet off the wall, and again, and they just keep falling down. And eventually I thought to myself, wait a minute, is it not the hip flexors that are just closing and they're not lengthening with the glute muscle? But the first trick that I found a few weeks ago was, the first is don't move your legs away from the wall. Push with the hands to align, and the feet will gradually pull away from the wall. So let's try that. Lengthening. Okay, so also, how quick can I get my hip flexor open? So I hold my stomach in, push the thigh back, holding the hips up. So hips forward, thighs back. Oh, I didn't touch the wall. Okay, thighs back. Okay, now, I don't think of pulling your feet off the wall. That will just make me drop already. Push into the hands, feel the tips of your fingers, lift in the belly, and start to feel a soft lift off. Ooh, and there they go. Okay, so let's try now just opening the hips more, finding that you found when you were lying down, active in the core, in the rib cage, and up in your serratus and lower traps. So hip bones forward, and then pressing through the arms. Now I'm going to engage in the glutes. And I found my hands again. Okay, so that's an interesting one. Hips not finding themselves, hands can't find themselves. Okay, so that was my exciting part. And so then we go into the headstand, and you actually, I say, fight it. Hip bones up, thighs back. You have to fight it in that direction. When you start doing backdrops, you definitely need that. You're fighting and then going back. Camel, Kapotasana, you're fighting and then to open. You don't want a falling. So in the beginning, when you're working on a nice placement and not a dropping, then keep your headstand. I would actually even suggest keep it bent. That would be a nice back. And the problem then might be when you start to straighten that we start to do that. So watch the next video in the forward folds, because that will explain that more. So now we lift from the tummy and then see if you can open up with the glutes and still engage. Because lots of people lose the weight from the elbows, and that would be serratus as well. Okay, to get that nice straight line. So my question then to myself was, if you do a handstand, how do I feel if my hip flexors are open? A handstand with two legs, because now you don't have the one leg opening and fighting, but you've got the either bent leg or straight leg that is in that position. So if my hip bone is up, I've got it. That will mean my hip flexor is open. So if I do another handstand here against my wall for nice and safety, and when I go, really think of lifting the hip bone up and keep it up as I'm going into the position. Get the serratus, get the lift in the chest, and lower trap down, neck relax, and hip bones up, so hip bones actually help to carry you up. Cool. I think I've just understood something new. Maybe not you need to be so strong in the tummy, but you just have to lift the hip bones up to do jump backs and to get the strength, because it looks so easy, right? Okay, well, we're all working where we're working, and enjoy. Thanks for watching. Namaste. And watch the next video to see the hips, how they're going forward fold. Thank you.